So we had choline, and it's an essential nutrient, but it's neither classified as a vitamin nor a mineral.
There are 4 different types of choline. The first is lecithin, which is a dietary source of choline, and it's not the best one, but it's often used as an additive in different foods, and it's a very highly processed food substance. The next kind of choline is CDP choline, which is the most preferred form of choline for several different reasons. It's more available for absorption and overall usage. It also has numerous nootropic effects than any of the other counterpart forms. It has mood-enhancing benefits. It increases dopamine receptors, and it stimulates increased synthesis of phosphatidylcholine. The next form is alpha GPC choline, which can increase athletic power and fat oxidation. And alpha GPC is made from soy lecithin. And the last form is choline bitartrate, which is the salt form of choline, and it has a greater stability of storage as opposed to pure choline, and it is often used as a dietary supplement to improve choline levels.
So some of the main functions of choline include maintaining cell structure and cell membrane function. So choline is a precursor for phosphatidylcholine, and that is one of the major components that make up phospholipid membranes. And so therefore choline is critical for the upkeep and synthesis of cell membrane structure and its function of transportation and signaling across the membrane. And the next one is transportation and metabolism of fats. And so phosphatidylcholine is also an important component of very low density lipoproteins. And so those VLDLs transport triglycerides out of the liver, which reverses fatty liver disease, which we'll talk about later. And that disease is a result of choline deficiency. The other function is it's used as a methyl donor. So choline can be metabolized to betaine, which is responsible for donating methyl groups. And the impact of these donations can be either negative or positive. So negatively, betaine donates methyl to DNA. Some outcomes of this are consequential alterations of gene expression, meaning that it's linked to diseases such as cancer or other syndromes having to do with chromosome changes. Positively, betaine being a methyl donor associates it with the metabolism of very important vitamins needed for synthesis of essential components of the body. So these vitamins include folate, vitamin B12, and methionine, and these are used for the synthesis of DNA, erythrocytes, neurotransmitters, and proteins.
So aside from the 3 main functions, choline has a lot of other functions in the body. It can regulate osmotic stress, it improves memory development, it's required for neurotransmitter function, it plays a really big role in central nervous system impulse transmission, it's cellular signaling, and it also improves inflammatory markers. There are a lot of different sources to intake choline. So it's found in seafood, soy products, eggs, lean meats, and poultry, whole grains. Choline is also really prevalent in a lot of different fruits and vegetables. And one of the best sources for you to intake choline is when you just eat liver. It has a lot of choline in it.
So the adequate intake is different for different people in different ages and just different stages that people are in. So for men and breastfeeding women, it's 550 milligrams per day. But for women who are not pregnant or breastfeeding, it's 425 milligrams. But if they are pregnant, it's 450 milligrams per day. And then for infants, so like birth to 6 months, it's 125 milligrams per day, and it just kind of increasingly goes up as you get older. So some symptoms of choline deficiency include liver damage, muscle dysfunction, compromised immunity, and diseases of the kidney, pancreas, brain, and nervous system. But some other symptoms also include low energy levels, memory loss, cognitive decline, learning disabilities, muscle aches, nerve damage, mood changes, irritability, and increased cravings of fatty acids. And these symptoms are not specific to choline deficiency, and most people would not even realize that a choline deficiency is to blame for these symptoms.
One of the most common diseases associated with choline deficiency is fatty liver disease. Pretty much every source that we researched for this showed that fatty liver disease is like the most, it's like the chronic disease that happens if you have a choline deficiency, but it is a reversible condition, and one of the ways to do that is to increase your choline intake levels and just make sure that you're consuming an adequate amount of choline per day, because a lot of people don't consume the right amount of choline, but people don't even realize that. And fatty liver disease is caused by triglyceride fat accumulation.
So some needs based on exercise and the effects of them. So exercise causes a decrease in choline levels. So like engaging in high intensity or strenuous exercise can lead to detrimentally low levels of choline, because during that exercise fat oxidation is increased, and so that uses up a lot of choline. And one of the websites we found had a study in it of Boston Marathon runners, and they found that as much as 40% decreased in choline in those runners. And choline also decreases cholesterol buildup, so low levels of choline lead to high cholesterol levels.
And then we had a couple interesting facts about choline. The first one we found is that as many as 50% of the American population has a genetic mutation that reduces the ability of the body to absorb choline. And we just thought that was really interesting, because 50% of all Americans is a really large number of people to have a genetic mutation of something. And then our second fun fact was that when the brain does not receive sufficient choline to manufacture acetylcholine, it can resort to extracting choline out of nerve cell membranes, and it's called autocannibalism. And we just thought that was really interesting, because the term autocannibalism just kind of stuck with us. But when researching choline, we were just really shocked at how much we don't pay attention to it when it influences so many different functions of the body, and it's also associated with helping you sleep at night or helping you be able to better cope with stress. So we just really enjoyed getting to learn a little bit more about this essential nutrient.